Just slow down, kid. Road's washed out up here. You continue to accelerate, but the truck stays put. Christ, Kay, what did I tell you? Got any recovery gear on this thing? Shit. We're on foot now, I guess. Looks like there's a fishing camp just up the road. If we want to reach the coordinates, we'll need a boat. Bet they got one we can borrow. Garrett's may have kidnapped your brother. Found a note at Duck's house that suggests the Garretts may have kidnapped Blake. Looking for a decapitated head somewhere in the lake. Found Duck's head drive. Spawned the monster called Super Duck. Duck believes Super Duck stole something from them and they want it back. I guess that would be like the stone or the flashing thing that we found, the orb. They brought the head drive to Duck in order to force him to communicate with it. He refused. The Garretts are in a state of disarray. Duck says the Garretts left his house in a state of disarray and confusion, as if there was a breakdown in leadership. They left in a hurry, however, which may suggest that they found what they were looking for. Super Duck is a viral fork of Duck's consciousness created by the same neural versioning clinic that your mom visited before her death. The head drive that once hosted the version somehow escaped Duck's possession and spread like a network virus. It eventually manifested itself physically into what Duck describes as a monster. Is that the crow thing? Contracted your mom. Your mom was conducting research for the monster known as Super Duck shortly before her death. Is there anything else I can do with this? And we can check that note anytime too. That's cool. How you holding up, kid? Oh, this is just to help us if we can't figure out what to do. That's right. Bless me, had to sneeze. Truck sunk in the mud. We're stranded unless somebody can pull us out. Hey, I know just where we at. That's Peachy Dewan's fishing camp. Me and my daddy more or less lived out here for a time. Old man Peachy hated my ass. And that's the Interstate 10 overpass over there. There's a map on the bulletin board. Might help refresh my memory. And I wonder who we got to talk to get a ride in that boat. Are we gonna have to do that boat mini game again? These coordinates we got are all the way out in the lake. Let me take a look at this map right quick so I can get my bearings. Detective inspects the map pinned to the bulletin board, tracing his fingers along the bayous. Yeah, alright. I remember this whole stretch from when I was a kid. They call this area La Branche. Used to be an old fishing village up until a hurricane knocked it out the lake. Peachy's camp was the only building left standing. That's where we at now. Trapagne's pond is just across the way. They named it after a plantation man from back in the old days. Then you got the interstate canal the government dug that to build Interstate 10. They let a whole lot of salt water into the swamp. In the process, killed off a lot of the trees. That's how we ended up with the ghost bayous. Them just some old bayous that aren't any trees left standing. The banks eroded without no roots to hold them in place, so you can't hardly see where you're steering your boat before you run into ground. Weren't just the government's fault though. Long time ago, they used to log these swamps for timber. Left scars all over the place. Like the logging wheel. Reason it looks like a wheel is because they park a big pull boat right there in the center. Then them guys will start chopping the trees down, going out in one direction, then another, like the spokes of a wheel. They called it a pull boat because they'd hitch the trees onto a big rope and the boat at the center would pull the trees in. They had a drum on the boat about the size of a car. The drum would spin to wind up the rope. Big coal-fired son of a bitch. My granddaddy told me it spit out smoke like you ain't never seen. Then down there is the lower suction canal. A lot of people died along that canal when the hurricane came through and took out La Branche. They got people go scuba diving in there, looking for treasure lost to the storm. Not always easy to find your way around the area. Good thing there's a map. Okay. We heard about the ghost bayous before, I think, right? And it looks like somebody stuck a note to it. Garrett! Ugh! Name tag pins a hand-scrawled letter to the board. Yo, Garrett! Garrett, again with these little dudes. Meet us at John's Pond on the northeast side of the lake for the launch. John's Pond. Northeast side of lake. For the launch of the spaceship to Mars. Ain't never heard of John's Pond in my life. It's a mess over there. People been posting about it online, driving out from the city to take pictures with the Ark. If you're coming from this way, the only route is through the ghost bayous. Open up the apocryphan app and take a look at the map. You'll see some blinking lights. Those mark the locations of portals. When you dive through them, it's like snorting that stuff Ditchman scrapes off the urinal. It's a fucking nightmare. Okay, so Papa is Ditchman. Confirmed. If you can keep your head on straight, the portals will take you to a light source. Each one will be a little different. Don't let it freak you out. Just be a cool Garrett and make those lights blink, just like you see on the map. Lights blink. Okay. Do that and you'll get swamp vision, bruh. The ghost bayous will appear for you. Good luck. What? Well, we've got the app. What's that about? You see that? You hold the phone up to the map and it shows them little blinking dots. The one at the login wheel is blinking real fast. The one at Trepagne's Pond is blinking slow. Move your phone around to the map to see if there's more. So, pond, slow, wheel, fast. Just writing down some notes here that I will promptly forget about. So we've got canal is solid. That's suction. It's like stuttering. So I guess I have to go to those spots and do something there. Got shells, Rangia clam shells, yard full of them. I stay in Laplace, call or text. Book your ideal stay in Louisiana's natural wetland habitats, with short and long-term options available. You can live like a local in one of America's most mysterious regions. They're not wrong about that. Swamp Boy is committed to sustainability. We believe in rebuilding Louisiana's wetlands for a greener, more verdant future. Book before the new year and receive a free snack pack delivery during your stay. Snack pack? Whoever been raising my trap's gonna die, brah. Map details the southwest corner of the lake, the area that surrounds the lost village of La Branche. Garrett's are meeting at John's Pond. Letter on the fishing camp bulletin board instructs Garrett's passing through them to meet at John's Pond in the northeast side of the lake for the launch. We have to go through the ghost bayous to get there. A man fishes from the dock. Evening. That your boat? Not mine. Believe that boat belongs to the camp. So, they got the key inside one of them units? I suppose they do. Let's go pay them units a visit, Kay. See if we can get a key from them. Can you help us pull our truck out of the mud? You were racing down the levee, weren't you? She was hitting every washout she saw. Wish I could help. I got a winch on my truck, but it's on the other side of the spillway. You know Peachy? You know Peachy Dewan, the old man who owns that camp? Sure, I knew Peachy. What you mean knew Peachy? You ain't seen about it on the news. Peachy been dead a long time, maybe 10 years. Come on. Yeah, Peachy been dead. And he took several others with him. The man finally cracked. Damn! Figured it might end like that for him. He was a bad dude, bruh. He say anything about me before he died? Brett LeBlanc. What? Anything bad about me? I don't think you understand what happened here. Peachy locked himself in that camp with 3 hostages and a pile of ammunition and refused to leave. Wasn't 'cause he was mad at me, though. The hell kind of question is that? Forget it. So, who's got the camp now? His grandson split the place into units and turned them into vacation rentals. All kinds of people pass in and out now. Figured they don't have any clue what took place inside there. You know anything about that note on the bulletin board? The one with the name tag on it? All I know is these boys been coming by taking pictures of that map with their phones. There are always interesting types passing through since they turned Peachy's place into vacation rentals. But these fellas are a different type entirely. Alright, let's head over there. What kind of knock is that, Kay? You're not gonna get nobody's attention knocking like that. You got to get wacky with it. Knock fast. Open up! We got to use that boat right quick. The boat came with the rental. It's ours. Bruh, let me just lay it out for you. This little highway rat right here is looking for her brother. You got me? We think he might be out there in the swamp. I wish I could help you, but we need that boat. Good luck. Nah. Knock again, Kay. Just keep knocking till we get a key to that boat motor. They'll get sick of us eventually. Hey, man! Lord help me. If you need the boat so much, why aren't you using it? That isn't any of your business. Trying to save lives here, bruh. As are we. Can we at least get a ride? Where is it you're trying to get? A head drive gave us coordinates of the lake. We don't know. We need to search the lake. That would take all night. We need the boat. I'm sorry. Knock again. Just keep on knocking. I could do this all night. Hey, come on. Please, I'm begging you, quiet down. Listen, I think we can work something out here. Trout, my cousin Susie's ex-husband, he bought 4 or 5 gold doubloons from a Canadian guy in Mississippi. He buried one of them under his mom's house. I'm over there all the time. I keep a few car batteries in her shed. Been using them back at the office. The old ones, but they still hold a good charge. This is all I was about to say. What does that mean? I can't let out that boat indefinitely. Understand we need it. It won't be indefinite. We got coordinates from some little gizmo sending out a distress call. Distress call? My partner, Duck! Door slams open upon mention of Duck's name. So, yeah, a buddy of mine has this little gizmo. It's like, hell, I don't know, an answering machine, I guess? It kept spitting out these coordinates in the lake. What else did it say? Said it's got a stressed out node, bruh. Something's getting stressed out in the lake? Where are the coordinates? They in the phone? It's the node. Figure you're right. And you two are just gonna boat right up to it? Sure, boating ain't nothing to me. Been boating my whole life. Keep listening. Are you familiar with the network that some call SuperDuck? Duck's my buddy I was telling you about. Clayton Richard? Yeah, Clay, good buddy of mine. Dallas, this guy look familiar. Oh, it's Dallas! Oh, I never said I knew the source. Give him the key. Shit, really? That'd sure help. I'm getting my voices confused. It's so hard to keep track of all the different voices. It's irresponsible. If we give you the key, you must do something for us. Happy to help. What you need? Take this. The woman passes you a small handheld device, a meter. Hold it before the node. Press the little button. Think we can manage that? And return it to us. That's it? That's it. Dallas? Yeah? The boat key. Give it to them. Dallas reaches the key to you as he looks you in the eyes. A glimmer of familiarity lights his own. He says nothing. Lots of wine. You got a map. Bunch of monitors in the background. Settled, I suppose. That's right. It is. Images cycle across the screen. Cypress trees, marsh grass, piers, and other details from locations scattered around the lake. Yes, what is it? Did you get my reading? What's all this about? I've been following the evolution of the SuperDuck network for nearly a decade. I've never seen it behave like this. How so? We believe that it's dying. Communication across the region has been scrambled and erratic. Birds are dropping from the sky en masse. It's even affecting the local wetland habitats. I have reason to suspect that an old colleague of mine died prematurely due to exposure to one of these nodes. Who is your colleague? Why would that be relevant to you? Peter, please. She was pushed out of the academy many years ago for transcript fraud. And plagiarism and harassment? She had a reputation for being irresponsible with her research and letting her personal grievances influence her findings. I once co-authored a paper with her on the fence line community of dimes. Her vendetta against S.H.I.E.L.D. and other commercial interests in the region alarmed me at first. But in the end, I think her motives were laudable, and believe S.H.I.E.L.D. is ultimately to blame for her death. But I also suspect that SuperDuck played a role. Her cancer was in remission the night that she was exposed to the Fat City node. Following that single incident of exposure, the speed of her relapse was remarkable. She was dead within weeks. I'm sorry, Dallas, but this is a reality you must come to grips with. Who are you conducting the research for? My research is funded through a private donor. There's no need to get into that. I've been studying these wetlands my entire life. Stay safe. There's something in the air tonight. What do you mean? Doesn't matter what I mean. Just keep your wits up. Is Dallas going to talk to us? A man in a trench coat and an elaborate bolo tie stares down at the carpet. What's up? What's your role in all this? I don't feel like getting into it. Been running jobs with Super for years, that's all. That's why Dr. Moore pulled me into this. All my money is tied up in quack coin, and now, with the network down, quack's worth nothing. So I got to take whatever work comes my way. How it goes. It's all coming together in a bizarre way that I don't understand. key to the cat boat in La Branche. A meter for detecting radiation. Super Duck may have contributed to your mom's death. Yeah, we found some node, or she found some node. Your mom was in remission when she visited the Super Duck node in Fat City. Following this exposure, her relapse was rapid and her death came sooner after. The high-frequency radiation emitted by the Super Duck node may have played a role. It's interesting, like, we're, like, kind of indifferent. Blake is sad face. Continue research for who? For Super Duck. Okay, well, let's get boating. Oh. I guess I just use it. Let's see. Look at that, it works. Let's take us a little ride. You heading into the lake? Yes, sir. You done much riding out there? All the time. Then you know what it's like. A lot of the land is eroded away. Once you get past Interstate 10, you can't hardly see where the water ends and the land begins. Talking about the ghost bayous? That's right. The man turns his attention to you. See what I'm saying? Yeah, you're saying the land is eroded so it looks like open water. That's right. Once you pass beneath the interstate bridge out there, it's hard to tell the eroded land, where all the dead trees fell from the open water. You might run your prop over submerged cypress trees. Might even get yourself stuck. Then how are we supposed to get through? Them strange boys with the name tags that have come around lately, they seem to get through the ghost bayous just fine. They're always looking at the map. Maybe you know something. Maybe they know something we don't. And one more thing. If you've got a sonar tracker on your phone, keep it handy. All kinds of stuff is hidden in the lake. Don't be shy about jumping in the water. You'll see some weird things down there, but it's just a trick of the light. Nah, bruh, they got ghosts in the water. Nonsense. Don't pay that any mind. I've been swimming in these bayous all my life. If you get an alert from that sonar, dive in and see what it's about. Okay, so truck, fishing camp. Oh, what about fishing camp A? What you bothering these people for, okay? We already got the boat key. Let's go. I don't know, I thought maybe something would happen. You gotta knock fast, he's telling me again. You ready? I assume we're gonna have to use the lights to navigate. Alright, Kay, time to put on your detective hats. You got your phone handy? Let's take a look at the GPS. Yikes. There was 2 sets of coordinates at Duck's place. One we found scribbled on a letter, same letter that mentions your brother. Said they was searching for a head. Now, I don't think that's your brother's head. That ain't what I'm saying. But I got a hunch all of this is connected. The coordinates for that are the northwest side of the lake. Might be worth checking out. The other came from that app on your phone. It was putting out some kind of distress signal. Looks like that one's coming from Eagle's Pond. Both sets of coordinates are past the Ghost Bayous. We want to get there. We got to figure out how to get through the Ghost Bayous first. You got that? Now, you do the driving. I'm going to loosen my tie and relax. Okay. So there was 30.077 minus 90.366. Right, like... Sonar's going off. You figure they got something down there on the lake? Why don't you dive in and find out what it is? Why don't you? I'm trying to relax. This is my off hours. Well, be ready. What the man on the pier said is wrong. They got ghosts down there. Part of mine dove in the water to drive a pile in when he was building his camp. Said he saw his dead granddaddy swimming around dressed up like a race car driver. Said his chin was on fire. 4 foot underwater with flames coming out his chin. You believe that? Like a fire goatee? He tried to swim after him and got sucked down a hole and ended up at a pizza restaurant 20 miles away. Glad it's my off hours. I'd hate to see something like that with the kind of hangover I got. So is this like a portal thing? Like they were mentioning? You crash through the shallow depths of the lake as the swamp spins around you. You try desperately to regain a sense of direction, thrashing further from the water's surface. You sink deeper into the bayou in this way until at last you emerge on the other side of the water, where you find a near-perfect mirror of the world you left behind. The contours of the galaxy are light in the sky above you. You've never seen so many stars. A man sits beside a kerosene lamp in the dirt of a palmetto grove along the bank. He rises to take a closer look at you. I watch this swamp from the treetops every night, but I never watch the water, he says. He reaches out his hand and helps you onto the bank. In the shadows of the grove are other figures whispering among themselves. The whispers are above you as well in the invisible crowns of the cypress trees. You're one of the Trepanier children, aren't you? I am. He waves his hand to the others, and they begin to move up the bank. Tell him to rest easy while he can. The man joins the rest of the assembly, and they walk deeper into the night, leaving the kerosene lamp behind. The light is solid, unchanging. Turn the knob. The light pulses slowly, regularly, rhythmically. The light blinks twice, quickly, and pauses for a moment before blinking again. Oh, that's the suction. Strobes quickly. That was the wheel. So it's gonna teleport us? Oh, okay. This is the pond, which is slow. Wait, what? Find nothing of interest. Oh, there we go. So it looks like when it's the right thing, it's green. Okay. I think I need to activate all of these properly. As you fall into the lake, you watch traffic lights of the overpass become like a mirage on the surface of the water. There's the sound of cars. Oh, that's automatically skipping stuff. The lake and all of its sediment is infinite in its silence. It holds you captive. It holds you captive and you're unable to move. Paralyzed in this way, you watch the dim suggestion of headlights cut across the bridge in their erratic cadence. All at once, an explosion of sound punctuates that vacuum of silence. For the smallest moment, the silence returns before a truck crashes into the water, sending a shockwave that releases you from the water's grip. The truck is sinking quickly, unnaturally. as if being pulled magnetically from below. You swim down to the vehicle. The headlights kill as you approach. The cab light flickers on. Blake sits in the passenger seat with a familiar look of distress. The driver's seat is empty. He sees you and begins to bang on the window. The cab fills quickly, cutting the lights. You pull open the door and swim into the cab as the pressure equalizes. You feel around desperately, your lungs screaming. The cab light awakens again to reveal an empty vehicle. Blake is nowhere. So this is the... Is this the canal? The light pulses slowly, regularly, rhythmically. Yeah. Canal was solid. Very cool. So let's go to suction. Okay, I think we need to go further south. You dive into the wreckage of an old fishing village. Wooden pilings are shadows against the dim light of the evening. Is it pillings? The pillings are driven deep into the silt. It's not... I assume that's like the things that like a building sits on. When it's built on top of water. Driven deep into the silt were planks and bottles and crab traps and stray pieces of tarp have coagulated into something whole. Swim towards the trash. You swim to the lake bottom and float beside this accretion of debris. A stray window rests among the trash, slightly opened. You swim through the window and discover that there is no water beyond it. No longer buoyant, you fall immediately onto a wooden cypress floor. Scan the area. You're in a cluttered living room, clean and well kept. The picture frames along the walls shake. The foundation of the home rocks. You look outside the window from which you entered. Rather than the depths of the lake, you see a torrent of wind and rain ripping across the open sky. Lightning cracks punctuate those furious sounds, and in the small crevices of silence, there are screams. There is a door to your right that leads onto the balcony of the home. Let's inspect the room. Along the wall of the living room are many framed tin types of seemingly random moments as if captured by accident. With each burst of wind, more of them crash onto the floor. Among the images is a hand waving, scarcely recognizable for the blur. The underside of the table, a clutter of shoes, a centipede held out on a napkin. As you make your way to the center of this collection, you find a picture of your mom. She's young, her hair grown past her shoulders. She's not smiling, nor is she angry. The world outside is a maelstrom. Water laps the balcony, threatening its foundation. You watch as willow trees floating along the bank of the bayou leave the earth entirely, sucked into an insatiable purple sky. In the distance, figures hug the crowns of cypress trees, screaming prayers into the vortex. Among those so stranded is Blake, who has lashed a rope around a tree and is holding to it desperately. You dive from the balcony into the flood waters and swim against the strongest current the bayou has ever known. When you emerge, there is no home, no Blake, no hurricane, only the infinite evening. LeBlanc waves from the boat that idles near the bank. "You good, Kay?" he shouts. You look up at the cypress tree where the apparition of your brother clung only a moment before. A rope hangs from it, limp in the stagnant air. Pull the rope. A light awakens from somewhere in the depths of the bayou. So that was stuttering. But I mean, I guess you just keep going until it's green. The light pulses slowly, regularly, rhythmically. The light blinks twice quickly and pauses for a moment before blinking again. Jesus. Creepy. Oh, there's the pond. John's pond, that is. You plunge into the logging canal and immediately find yourself tangled in the branches of a felled tree. You struggle to free your arm. No luck. As you pull, the tree pulls back until at last its force proves the stronger and begins to drag you through the flotsam and foam. It's impossible to see beyond the suspended sediment of the water. In a sudden violent moment, the force pulls the tree into the night air, and you along with it. As you hug the trunk of the tree, you see before you a massive machine spitting smoke into the sky. The machine sits atop a barge. Mounted to the barge is a large drum that spins slowly and powerfully, winding the rope that grips the tree on which you float. You look to either side and see crews of workmen balancing upon pirogues. Not familiar with that one either. Axing wedges into the base of cypress trees along the canal. Some pull the felled trees to the edge of the canal, while others paddle from danger as the towering trees crash into the water. You rest your arm from the cypress and climb onto the barge. A foreman stands upon the platform and regards you with a scowl as the barge begins to sink into the water. He points to the firebox at his side. "Madare, don't slow down now." You look down at the pile of coal and the shovel beside the firebox. Both now submerged as the boat sinks further. The shovel floats towards you as the water reaches the roof of the pole boat. The sinking boat settles upon the silt bottom, and you find yourself floating beside the firebox while holding the shovel. The light of the firebox continues to glow even in the depths of the water. This one was fast. Light strobes quickly blinking on and off at a rapid tempo. Ah, it shows you the paths.